Hello everyone, this is Josh Vision, and I'm here to give my Season 1, Episode 4 review of The Spanish Princess. So, basically with this episode, a lot of things have hit the fan since the death of the Queen. We have King Henry VII basically, staying in his own lane. He's basically making sure he hasn't made any public appearances. He's mourning the death of his beloved wife. At one point early in the episode, we see him literally just having a staring contest, with the lion in a cage, actually. And I believe that's one of the gifts he actually got his wife, early on in their marriage. We see that his mother, basically is trying, I believe she's a regent now with King Henry VII, basically being a recluse at this point, and basically the heir, Henry, being a little bit too young to rule as of yet. So we see her basically getting things started. She kicks Catherine and Maggie out of the court. One, Catherine, because she feels as though Catherine had consummated her marriage with Arthur, obviously, but that's been the case with her, with her suspicions with Catherine since, basically the last couple episodes, and from the beginning when she met Catherine in episode 1 of this season, her and Catherine clearly don't like each other. So that's kind of a convenience for her. What else with Catherine involved with Catherine? I believe Catherine's is actually staying over at Durham, the Durham house, and it's really crappy conditions, but Catherine's really intent on marrying, young Henry. What else? In regards to Maggie, we see that Maggie's banned essentially from court and the palace, mainly due to the fact that, once again, kind of like with Catherine, it kind of serves a greater purpose and is beneficial towards, the king's mother, and the fact that Margaret is basically the cousin of Edward de la Pole, who has a right to the throne due to his Yorkist ties, and he's kind of under protection of the Holy Roman Emperor, Maximilian I, I believe. So that's the main reason why Maggie has basically been kicked out of the court, at this present time. So we have this struggle essentially for Henry. We see Henry and his grandmother butting heads because she doesn't want Henry to marry Catherine, but Henry is dead set on marrying Catherine, as I mentioned before with Catherine and her love for Henry earlier, in this review. Now, I believe there was one point early in the episode when Henry and Catherine was actually standing over, the casket of his mother, and Catherine compared Henry to a bull back at her country. This really tough and stubborn bull who, despite going at it for hours upon hours, days upon days, despite the wounds, kept going and going. He's resilient, and that's why she compared Henry to the bull. Now, I believe we end this episode with King Henry VII, basically due to the fact that he doesn't want to ruin the political alliance with Spain. He wants to marry Catherine instead of letting Henry, his new heir, marry Catherine, which I thought would be very interesting, and very kind of funny and hilarious and kind of effed up at the same time. To end this review, let's talk about quickly Henry's, I believe his younger sister, Maggie, essentially, not Maggie. Let's just say Henry's sister, the one who's supposed to marry James IV of Scotland. There was this one quick little scene in which she wants to basically be married in some of the same trims that her mother had. I believe she said her mother was in a red and black. Her wedding dress was kind of red and black, although her husband wanted her to be in white to match with him. But she said she wants a little bit of the red and black for her mother's wedding dress, to be on her when she's, married. So I believe, you guys, that's all. No, wait, there's one more. We meet Edmund Dudley, who historically he's the grandfather of Robert Dudley, who would go on to be basically Queen Elizabeth I's lover, probably the love of her life, actually. But he's the one that gives the idea, essentially, to Henry's mother, that in order for the treasury to increase, all they have to do is basically just tax the people and basically come up with some lame ways to find them over ridiculous, basically ridiculous things to find them over, besides the added taxation. So historically, I believe, due to that and the fact that King Henry VII was kind of known as being a frugal king, he was kind of known as being kind of a minor king, actually, like a minor, always trying to get more and more money for himself, that after he died, I believe Edward Dudley was actually executed for the outrageous enforcement of the taxations, so on and so forth, that King Henry had him executed. King Henry VIII actually had him executed, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, I believe that's it. If I miss anything, please write some comments down below. Thank you guys for watching my review. I'll give this episode about an 8 out of 10. And once again, thank you guys. Adios.